it's Masha. Oh guys, I have fallen in love with a thing. Love at first sight. You know what that first sight looked like? Like this. I found this boat in the back of a car repair yard. It was sitting there among dismantled cars, looking quite miserable. In fact, just one look at the underwater hull could be upsetting, but the real shock was waiting for me inside. And this, guys, is an engine, this green thing there, standing in the water. This is the cabin, like a dirty swimming pool full of, I don't know, but you definitely do not want to step into this water. Also, a lot of spiders here and a couple of wasp nests. I knew that it belongs to a distant friend of a friend, and I decided to write to him, "Do you still need this boat?" Though honestly, I already knew the answer, and I was right because he said, "Oh, take it, but there are some debts for the storage space and you'll need to pay them and move the boat elsewhere." And try to guess what I wrote? I'm taking it. I'm absolutely, definitely taking it for myself. You know, when I first looked at this boat, I didn't see a wreck or rotten wood or a cabin full of water. I saw it as a step toward my dream, like moving up to the next rung, ready to keep climbing higher and higher. So I paid off 2,000 euros in debts and started preparing the boat for the move to a new place. First of all, I needed to pump the water out of the cabins. I decided to use the communicating vessels method.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day.
But as soon as I started working, a big amount of wasps began flying around me. I was not ready for that. It scared me, and I retreated quickly. But the next day, I came back. After I got rid of the wasp nests, which were mostly in the sail, I went back to working on my communicating vessels. And this physics, you know, it never fails. So the method worked and water started pouring out of the boat.
Вот, смотрите, бодренько идет.
A couple of days later, I came back and found that the method had worked, but not completely. Nevertheless, I managed to get inside the cabin and see what was in there.
Мы с вами внутри.
To bail out the remaining water, I decided to use a different method. Innovative, very original, extraordinary.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You won't be
Ребята, смотрите, уже можно здесь стоять.
now I see, baby, you are hurting me. Stuck in repeat.
Once I got all the water out of the boat, my favorite part began. Turned out the boat was actually quite inhabited, full of bugs, spiders, some creepy sandy nests, and all sorts of other wild stuff.
Блин, там мертвая птичка, но она двигается. Сейчас она прям двигается. Бля.
Okay, it's time to move the boat, so I found a yacht service, booked a crane, and moved the boat there.
Кран приехал, господи.
I don't want to turn on the sound on this video because I was yelling so like crazy. I was so freakingly happy at this moment. I didn't believe that I actually doing this. Okay, I paid 300 euros for the crane and 500 euros deposit for the new spot. 1 year in a new spot will cost me 1500 euros. Okay guys, welcome to the new spot where my boat is docked. So the first thing I did was throw out all the junk that was on the boat. I started outside, got rid of all the rotten ropes, old fenders, and then with the service guys we untied my mast and lowered it down. And guess what I discovered? I have a small inflatable boat kept on yacht, but this little thing isn't going anywhere. It is falling apart at the seams, totally trashed. How do you think? Did I have doubts? Of course I did, mostly because I had almost no savings. Sure, this story will not be complete without this little detail. And restoring a boat, you can imagine what kind of investment that would be. All I had was 3,000 euros, the only savings I had. So yes, I did have doubts. But I looked at this boat and felt as if we somehow needed each other because I wanted that boat so badly. Like taking in a stray puppy or something like this. Make it my little home. A home which I could take with me anywhere. если это бимини, то я буду верещать от счастья. О, смотрите! Что это за хрень? Это какая-то южная тема. Я такой первый раз вижу. Пахнет как лаковая краска для стен. Что это? Это коробка с инструментами. И она была не в воде. И она тяжелая. Залезем в нее вместе с вами. Она вся материнка. I knew that the rainy season would start very soon. It's just a matter of few weeks and I will see first heavy rains. So I realized that my main task right now was to cover the boat with a kind of tarp. Luckily, what I found in the cabin was indeed a bimini, a boat stand. But in order to use it, it first needed a good cleaning. Thinking ahead about the coming rains, which I'll have to work through for a few months, definitely. Okay, the cockpit will be covered with a tent, but how watertight the deck is, I didn't know. Most likely, water will get inside the boat, and I realized it was time to deal with the pumps. I don't want to bail water out with buckets anymore. Normally, a boat has an electric pump, but of course, mine doesn't work. There is also a manual pump, but the condition of the hoses, you can see it yourself. I managed to connect them somehow, but the pump still didn't work. At first I thought maybe it was clogged, but no, the pressure just wasn't there. I knew I could buy a pump, but I needed to spend money very carefully, so I wanted to try to work with what I had. Okay, the pumps don't work, but the boat has seacocks, those openings in the hull, and I found the lowest one right under the toilet. And I tried to unscrew it. В моих ящиках с инструментами даже вроде были какие-то гаечные ключи. Сейчас заглянем. Угу. Ну, это, конечно, не бог весть какое состояние, но уже что-то. Сейчас попробуем подобрать. В общем, не подходит ни один ключ. Okay, none of the wrenches fit, the seacock wouldn't budge, the pumps didn't work, so I decided to cheer myself up by putting the clean, now dry tarp on the boat. But you know how it is. When it rains, it pours. And the top didn't have any grommets, those special metal holes. Короче, я не знаю почему, но вот смотрите, какая ситуация. Вот это есть на ткани, ничего нет. So the next day I bought some at the store, watched a YouTube tutorial on how to install them, and hammered them in all around the edges of the tarp. I didn't have any special support arches, and I didn't have time to come up with something either, because heavy rain was forecast for the night and the next 2 days. I just needed to find some way to secure the tarp. For 2 days, the weather was like this. And you know what I found when I came back to the boat?
Ты не сдалась. Спасибо тебе, дверь. Там все сухо.
My boat hook and my door did an excellent job. They held up, kept the tarp from collapsing, and inside it was almost completely dry. The same day, I went to the store and bought garden arches, the kind used for greenhouses. I connected them together, and on both sides of the boat I fixed them into the wedges. And here's what I got. Voila! I didn't know how long they would last, but at that moment it looked amazing, absolutely fantastic. I was so proud of myself. The weather was nice, so I decided to spread out the sail I had found on my very first day on the boat. It's such a beautiful sail. The stitching, the little metal pieces, everything looks really nice. But the sail itself, well, it's a total wreck. It was literally falling apart in my hands, full of holes and cracks, and if you touched the spots without holes, new ones just appeared right away. I decided not to throw it out. Instead, I'll keep it to use a pattern when I make a new sail. Or maybe I'll just buy one. I haven't figured that out yet. And I also want to turn the old one into some fun little things like bags, pouches, maybe a couple of decorative pillows. You know, the kind of cute stuff people usually make from old canvas.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time you tell me I'm good and that I'm doing fine, but nothing ever changes. And now I see, baby, you are hurting me.
Wow, great.
воняет.
That day, the engine specialist came by. I invited him to help me disconnect the engine from all the systems, so I could finally get this monster out of the boat. He also gave me some advice and confirmed what I was already thinking. This engine had been sitting in water for 3 years. So yes, this engine is ruined. Sure, it could be rebuilt, but it would cost thousands of euros, almost the same as buying a used one in a good condition. So yeah, Roma disconnects the engine and I go back to my work.
Put a pen on my desk, flip the noose around my neck as I wait for the muse to come. And I can't seem to hear any humming in my head. Can't seem to figure it out. Don't know what I said. When I hate hearing myself, I just walk out instead. I don't wanna wait here for it. I don't wanna wait here for it. And I don't
Блин. Хотела заснять как... Все живые! Да, я хотела заснять поближе, как падает винт. Начала переставлять камеру.
Okay, the job is done and the monster is out of the boat. But now I was staring in horror at what it left behind, all that nasty, oily, rusty gunk. And I'm the one who has to clean it up. And well, I got to the boat the next day and just started cleaning all of it up. On over fault line, bad teeth and worse habits, high heels in the trailer. If you want me, you should have it. Cracking like a glacier. Any semblance of restraint. You know why I said yes to this boat and this project? I said yes because I know there is so many people in the world who, despite everything, the obstacles, the doubts, still follow their dreams. They go where it's hard, where their heart calls, where curiosity leads, and I knew I would find those people and they would find me. I put my hope in YouTube, and from the very first day I started telling my story, but on another different language. Now I am in the middle of this journey and I'm translating these videos because I want to share everything I was doing. I am doing this because more than anything, I wanted to be part of that community of people who follow their dreams. So currently I'm in this project. This is where I am. And on this channel, I'll be sharing everything about how the work on the boat is going. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying here. Your presence on this channel is the biggest support I could ever ask for. Let's see where this journey takes us.
Боже.